Welcome to SportsCenter, everybody. Kevin Agandi coming to you live from Bristol, Connecticut. I'm Sage Steele, live in South Beach, Miami, Florida, getting you set for kickoff of Super Bowl 54. However, I want everyone at home to know football is the last thing on the minds of everyone here. We are all here today, Kevin, focusing on Kobe Bryant, remembering his legacy and so much more. And I know it's been an emotional time for you in Bristol covering all of this. Stephen A. Smith here with me, standing by with his reaction to the latest on Kobe that happened today in Los Angeles. Let's send it back to you.
Sage, yeah, we're going to begin in L.A., where last night Shaq started a Kobe chant outside the Staples Center with the fans after an emotional and raw conversation on TNT. It's been 3 days since the tragic helicopter crash outside of L.A. took the lives of 9 people, including Kobe Bryant and his 13-year-old daughter, Gigi. And here's the scene today outside the Staples Center. The plaza has been the center point for many in Southern California to come together and share their stories and remember the Laker legend. The Lakers yesterday got together, had lunch, shared stories about the 41-year-old star who joined the franchise when he was just 17 years old. And the game of hoops was a family thing for the Bryants, as it is for LeBron James' family. Yesterday, LeBron watching his son Bronny play at Sierra Canyon. Players for both sides began the game wearing Bryant shirts, and they both took 24-second violations to honor Kobe. As for the team, the Lakers, they had their first full practice today. Their game against the Clippers last night was postponed by the league. They play the Blazers Friday night at home. Head coach Frank Vogel this afternoon.
We want to represent what Kobe was about, more than anything. We've always wanted to make him proud, and that's not going to be any different here.
Frank, what did you guys get done yesterday, and what do you think? What kind of work did that do for those guys emotionally?
We did some things that we felt would be therapeutically beneficial. We got in the gym for some team shooting work. No real practice working on anything in particular. I wanted our guys to come in mentally free, but to get a sweat, to touch the ball, to be around each other, and then we had a lunch, where we all, just spent time together and grieved together.
NBA reporter Dave McMenamin joining us now from the Lakers practice facility. Dave, what more can you tell us about Vogel's message to the team as they've tried to make sense of all of this?
Yeah, Kevin, Frank was asked, is there any chance that this tragedy could pull you apart? And he said nothing can pull this group apart. He said there's a term, family, gets thrown around a lot in the NBA. He's coached several different teams for many different years, and he said this is a team where that term applies. They've come together so rapidly. They really care about one another, and the last several days has just been another example of the family-type atmosphere, the connection that this group has. Yesterday they met as a team and shared Kobe Bryant stories. LeBron James being first and foremost, sharing a beautiful story about their time together in the 2008 Olympics. And it just continued today, where they had a group huddle on the court afterwards with Rob Pelinka, the Lakers GM, included in it. They all feel this together.
Yeah, Pelinka and Kobe very close through the years. Vogel also referenced LeBron. You mentioned it too. And Anthony Davis being vocal leaders. How have they helped this group deal with this tragedy?
Kevin, I pulled up to Lakers practice facility today about 2 hours before they were to start practice, and I saw at the soccer field across the street Anthony Davis, LeBron James going through a pre-workout on the soccer field, doing plyometrics, doing some agility drills, actually playing some soccer, doing penalty kicks against one another. To me, that's the silent example that they're setting, that we're going to put in extra work before and after practice. And then also, Frank Vogel told us that they are involved in every decision the team is making as they plan out this week and try to get prepared for the first basketball game that they'll play Friday at Staples Center in a world where Kobe Bryant is no longer.
Getting back to work. That's one normalcy that they understand. Dave McMenamin with the Lakers as they return to practice. More on this story as it hit home. Meanwhile, the helicopter crash, of course, that killed Bryant, his daughter, and 7 others remains under investigation. The pilot, Ara Zabayan, who perished in the crash, was also used by Clippers Kawhi Leonard for helicopter travel after he talked to Kobe about the best methods to move around Southern California. Here's Kawhi today.
Yeah, I mean, he's flowing him a lot. Great guy, super nice. You know, he was one of their best players. You know, that's a guy who you'll ask for. You know, to fly you from city to city, and it's just surreal still for him. You know, he'll drop me off and say he's about to go pick up Kobe. Kobe said hello, or he'll, you know, just be like, I just dropped Kobe off and he said hello, you know, vice versa. So it's just a crazy interaction. He's a good dude, and, you know, I'm sorry for everybody.
At the end of the day, if we had played it, it would have been a game played. But I just thought it would have been a meaningless game in too many ways. And there's times where, you know, emotion and grief have to give out to your job. And in that case, I thought the league made the right choice.
It's tough, you know, it's tough. He helped me, you know, every step of the road when I got injured. He was one of the first phone calls that came in, and he got me through that. You know, it's hard, man. It's hard, but I'm grateful and you know, will forever cherish the relationship I did have with him.
Welcome back live to Miami as we take a look at Miami Beach, South Beach. Of course, Super Bowl 54 getting set to kick off. But as I said at the top of the show, that is really the last thing on everybody's minds, especially tonight as we listen, Stephen A. Smith, to the words, the memories, the mourning of the Los Angeles Clippers, the Los Angeles Lakers, and as we continue to hear from the entire sports world. I saw you on SportsCenter immediately after the news broke on Sunday. Saw you here today for the first time. You look the same. You look beaten up. You look like, obviously, you are struggling to grasp all of this, Stephen A., because I'm pretty sure you and we haven't seen anything like this in this industry.
I haven't seen anything like this in my career. It's devastating because, you know, when you know somebody personally and you consider them to be an incredible guy, obviously he was a great champion, but, you know, as the days waned and what have you, knowing him for over 20 years, I mean, we became friends. And so, you know, when my mother passed away in June of 2017, he was one of the first calls I received that morning. And we spoke throughout the years. We were together on New Year's Eve, partying in Bel Air. And, you know, looking forward to this season. 2020 was going to be an even bigger year in his mind because he was always up in the ante. No matter what his achievements were throughout his illustrious career, there was always more to go out there and get. And that was his mentality. If you were standing still, if you were stagnant, you were not living. That was his mentality. And then, you know, it's also riveting because he's 41 years of age. He's a 5-time champion, an 18-time All-Star, a 2-time NBA Finals MVP, destined for the Hall of Fame this summer, first ballot easily, and all of that other stuff. But he's also an Academy Award winner. And with all of that stuff going on and with all the aspirations that he had, he could not, Sage, stop talking about his daughter. He said she is something special. She is going to carry the baton. She tells people, I got this, just like he said on Jimmy Kimmel. And he said she was going to go to UConn. She was going to be an All-American. She was going to go to the WNBA because she was determined to do that and to be that legacy carrier that, you know, that some people would obviously say a son should be. He was like, no, it's going to be my baby girl. This is who she is. And to learn that she passed away in a helicopter crash with him, it's just nothing short of devastating.
I think one of the silver linings, and it's hard to even say, but to come out of this, is the fact that so much of the focus has been on what you just said, has been on his daughter and his role as a father, because I think we all know through dealing with him, he'd be like, yep, I'll get back to you when I'm done coaching my daughter. We're doing a workout now. I know you received those texts as well. Mm-hmm. And that's what he wants, I know, people to think of him as. That's how he wants to be remembered. The father first. The basketball stuff important, but don't you believe that's where he was in his life?
That was part of where he was. Obviously, that was very paramount to him because his children were everything to him. But the other side to it is the ambassador that he became. And it wasn't just to professional athletes and professional basketball players in particular. It was to anybody out there who had an aspiration. He met my godson about a year ago or so. And my godson was bragging about how he had a 3.5 GPA. And Kobe said, this, so tell me why it's not a 4.0. Where's the other 0.5? What are you doing? Do you have a job? Do you have a career? Are you paying bills? What's distracting you from excellence? And if you talk to professional basketball players, professional football players like Richard Sherman and others that he had spoken to, along with anybody in the professional ranks in the world of, corporate America and beyond, he was constantly about the business of achieving excellence, pursuing excellence, and never shortening or cheapening yourself by not going for it. And so, it's just a lesson, for him to be so young, trilingual in Italian, Spanish, English, talk to me about learning German and Mandarin, and, obviously doing the things that he has done and accomplishing the things that he accomplished. He just never stopped holding himself accountable and those he cared about, and he wanted to be an inspiration to the world, and he was hell-bent on pulling it off, and he was en route to pulling it off before all of this happened.
We heard from Frank Vogel. We heard from the Clippers players as far as basketball is concerned. The first game for either team back at Staples Center is tomorrow. The Clippers, I should say, host the Sacramento Kings, and then the Lakers on Friday host Portland on ESPN. It's going to be quite an emotional scene,
I'll be
there in Los Angeles. I'm glad you will. Leave Miami, go to Los Angeles.